So I'm standing here with Pastor Danilo, and he has planted a church here in Barranquilla, Colombia. I had an opportunity to preach there last night, and it was amazing. Your people are great. Tell me about your church plant.
Okay, guys. Well, I want to share with you this joy that God has given to me to be a pastor of this church. This church is located in the southern part of the city, when we see many difficulties, many necessities. But God is doing a big work with those people. God is saving people, and they are wishing, or they are hoping to be part of a community who lives the gospel and lives for the glory of Christ. So we are expecting what God is going to do in the next months and the next year, seeing His faithfulness and His kindness to the people here in Colombia.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing, brother. Thank you.
Si tú amas a Dios, es porque es el fruto de que Dios te ama a ti.
What is the secret of marriage?
¿Y cuál es el secreto del matrimonio?
So we are standing in the sanctuary of Rescue Mission Church here in Barranquilla. And so Pastor Juan, would you just give us an update on what's going on here at the church?
Oh, we are so excited to share with you that in the last 2 months, the Lord has blessed us with 2 new pastors that help us to have more guys taking care of the flock. Also, we are seeing a lot of people coming to faith, so membership is growing as well, not just in maturity, but also in numbers. We are in this moment getting ready to plant another church, so that's very exciting to see more people willing to join the church and more people looking forward to serve and support everything that God has allowed us to do here. So very exciting news in this moment.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. We are so excited to see what God is going to do here at Rescue Mission Church.
Thank you.
So we're standing in one of the new classrooms for the seminary.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the seminary and kind of what you have coming up next for the seminary.
Well, we are very excited because, as you just mentioned, this is one of the classrooms, one of the 6 classrooms of the new part of the building, where we're going to be able to take care of 1,900 students every week that are getting ready to go deeper in theology, serving their local churches. So we are very excited in this new phase.
Did you say 19?
1,900 students.
1,900 students.
Yeah, and that's not the best part. The best part is that they are starting at no cost at all. So they are starting for free, and that's just thank you to churches like you guys that are supporting the work that we are doing here.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So what are you hoping to see in the future for the seminary?
Well, we are hoping to get deeper in other programs. So we are developing a master in theology in this moment, so students can go deeper in their theology. But also we are very excited to see a lot of pastors that are part of the students, and they are now walking into a transition process to leave behind bad theology and focus on sound doctrine. So we are helping revitalization in this moment. We have 4 churches that we're going to revitalize, and that's coming out of the seminary.
Yeah, helping pastors leave behind that theology and walk in the truth.
That's exactly right.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for your support.
Hey, Pastor Kirk here from Barranquilla, Colombia. I'm here at Rescue Mission Church with Pastor Juan, who's the pastor here at Rescue Mission. And we are here because we are partners in the gospel. So Pastor Juan, would you just tell us a little bit about what does it mean for us to be partners in the gospel?
Oh, it's such amazing partnership because we share the same gospel. It's the same Bible that we are preaching from. We believe in the same God. We believe in the same way to be saved. So it's amazing to have another church in other countries that we know that every single Sunday they are preaching the same message. That really encourages us to continue and realizing that we are not that crazy. There are other crazies as we are. So that's pretty amazing. We are so grateful for this partnership.
Yeah, and we are so grateful that we get to be with you, partners in the gospel.
Thank you for allowing Pastor Kirk to be with us this week. It's amazing, and we are so excited to see what God is going to do this week.
Hola, hola. ¿Cómo estás? All right, that's about all the Spanish I know. Guys, we are so excited to be back, to be here to share with you just a little bit of what God showed us and what God taught us while we were in Colombia. And here's what I want us to know. Here's what I want us to see. Here's what I want to resonate in your hearts today. We are a part of a global movement of God. Is God at work in this church? Yes. Is God at work in this county, in our country, in our nation? Yes. And God is a God of the nations. He is a God who rules over the universe and rules over every country in the entire world. You see, our movement is a movement that started in Jerusalem but didn't stay there. Amen? The resurrection of Jesus reverberated out from that place and went to every country over the entire world. And so now we stand here not as a part of a movement that's just happening here among us, but we are a part of a global movement which is happening around the entire world. And that was one thing that really stood out to us while we were there. We landed on a Wednesday, and I was slated to preach the following evening. And so we were kind of put into a small car and driven to a rough side of the city in Barranquilla. And we got out there and we entered into a very small and modest building. It was essentially cinder block walls with no air conditioning, but it was packed with about 100 believers. And though we did not speak the same language, yo tengo un poquito español. I speak very, very little Spanish. Though we did not speak the same language, they treated us like family. And as they lifted their voices to sing to our King, I knew that we were family and we shared the same King and we shared the same God. And so we are a part of a global movement of God that's happening not just here in Fayetteville, but it's happening all over the world. And it's specifically happening right there in Colombia, where we believe we're seeing the beginnings of a revival that's happening among those people. And so we're so blessed to be a part of it. I have 1,000 stories to share. I wish I had time. My daughter actually asked me if I was just going to share Colombia stories for the whole sermon. I'm not going to do that. We are going to get to preaching the word today. But Chelsea and I wanted just to take an opportunity to share with you 4 thoughts that we have, not about what we did or what we accomplished there. Again, I'll tell you those stories later on. But I want to give you, and Chelsea and I want to share with you just 4 thoughts that we had about the people that were there, the people that we had the opportunity to minister to. And then I want to give 4 directives for us as a church. Okay, so 4 thoughts about the people, and then 4 directives, 4 things that I want us to do as a church moving forward. And so the first one is this, and Chelsea's going to share with us. This is what we saw, this is what we observed about the people there that we were ministering to in Colombia. First, their hunger is evident. You want to share with us about that?
Yeah, when we say hungry, we're talking about hungry for the word. So these people are passionate about the Bible. They're passionate about learning more about Jesus. We found out that 60 to 70% do not have transportation. They do not have a car. They do not have a motorcycle. They do not have a bicycle. And so what they're doing is they are taking their tiny income that they're making and they're spending it on bus tickets to get to this church. They're doing what it takes to get there. Some people are traveling 2 hours. We met a lady that travels 2 hours one way just to hear the word. And that just stirred something in us. They're sacrificing. They're doing what it takes to get there. They learned that we were going to be there a week ahead of time. All they said were missionaries are coming. They're going to come give a marriage conference. They're going to come give a ladies conference. And the whole church showed up. Nobody's complaining. Nobody's making big details. Yeah. And so, like, they're not stressing about communicating just the right way to get people there and just the right sign-ups to get people there. Heather, it was simple.
They just said sign up and people just showed up. They just said, hey, we're doing it, and people were there.
It was so
they're
cool.
Hungry for the
They are
word.
hungry. They're hungry.
Yeah. The other thing that we noticed was this: their gratitude is humbling.
We felt like superstars. They wanted to take pictures with us, that kept thanking us. They thanked us for studying because we did some teaching there, and so they thanked us for studying and then presenting them the word. And so every time we met somebody, thank you, thank you, thank you. As Pastor Juan said in the video, these seminary students, they're getting these classes for free because of the way that our church is giving, the way that these other churches that are supporting them are giving. They're sitting in these classrooms for free. And so Pastor Juan introduced us in some of these classrooms and just walked in, said our names, said where we're from, said what we give. And then he didn't give the amount, but he said, these are one of the churches that's supporting us. And they broke out into applause, like tears streaming down our eyes, because what we give is not a lot. Like, we give very little to this church plant in this seminary, but it means the world to them.
Yeah, that was what was so humbling, is that they were just filled with gratitude, and it really did something in my heart to say, what more can we do? They're so gracious for what they have, and what we give goes so far in Colombia. And so I was very humbled at their gratitude, and it just pressed me to say, man, as a church, what more can we do? Here's something else that we noticed about the people that were there. We noticed that their humility is evident.
Yeah, I think the biggest way their humility was evident to us personally is in the way that they serve. They are not serving with a complaining heart. We met one of the members there. She was actually an interpreter for us. Her name was Laura. We came to find out that she was an attorney. Her and her husband both are attorneys. And so they are probably among more of the prominent living in that area. And her serving position is she cleans the bathrooms in between seminary classes and counts it a joy. She's joyful, and she explained to me, she said, as I'm cleaning these bathrooms, I'm praying over these seminary students, and I'm praying about the students that are to come, and I'm praying about the young people that are coming and sitting in these classes. And she counts it a joy to serve. There is no complaints. There is no I got to go to work the next day. She was joyful. And that's what we saw, person after person after person, joyful in service. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from taking out the trash to vacuuming to cleaning the bathrooms. They were just happy to be there, to be a part of serving God's church. They were the most joyful people in their service that I've ever seen in my life. It was kind of the last thing that we observed, and I alluded to this just a moment ago, but their dedication is leading to what we believe is a revival.
Yeah, so Catholic churches and prosperity gospel churches are very popular in this area. And so what they're seeing is because of the seminary, not only are the people within this Rescue Mission church, the Rescue Mission is the church, and the church has a seminary. So other people from other parts of the city outside of Rescue Mission Church are coming, and they're sitting in these classrooms, and they are learning the word. They are learning biblical literacy, and what they're doing is they're going back and they're sharing it. And so they're seeing pastors that are preaching the prosperity gospel actually reshape their teaching due to the fact that these people are sitting in these seminary classes. And it's incredible.
Pastors are getting saved. Yeah. I want you, let that process in your mind. Pastors in the city are getting saved because these seminary students are going out into the city and sharing their faith in their churches, and whole churches are being converted to the truth.
Yeah, and the other thing that's amazing to see is if you walk into these seminary classes, it's older folks, it is young folks, it is teenagers, it is children. They don't have childcare, and so they're just bringing their kids with them. And so this is making a generational impact. One of my favorite experiences there is once Kirk got done teaching the first night that we were there, the first people up to us were teenagers. They just surrounded us, and they wanted to challenge themselves because they're learning English in schools, and so they wanted to challenge themselves to have a conversation with us in English and to see the courage and the passion. And then what they wanted to share with us after they just met us, just asking our names, is they wanted to share their favorite Bible verse. And so it's making a generational impact, this revival that's happening there.
Yeah. We have a ton of stories to share. Again, I'll be floating around after service if you want to talk more about it. But there are 4 things that I want us as a church to do about what we've learned and what we've seen there. I've had an opportunity since we got back to discuss this with the elders. And so here are 4 directives or 4 things that I want us to do. Would you read that first one for us?
Yeah, we should increase our regular monthly giving.
Yeah, we should increase, like I said, we're not giving that much, but what we do give goes a long way there. So currently we are giving $300 a month, which is not that much. And so I've talked with the elders, and we want to double that every month. So let's start giving $600 a month starting this month and on forward. So.
Yeah, and what if we gave one special one-time gift of maybe $10,000?
I don't know. What do you guys think? So if the first directive is let's increase our monthly giving, let's double our monthly giving to the church and to the seminary, let's raise a one-time gift of $10,000 to send them, and let me tell you why. While we were there, they were still under construction. So you saw in the video, I was standing in one of the classrooms in the seminary. Well, recently, in their facility, the next door property just came available, and so they have now been able to lease that property as well. And so they're turning all of that into seminary classrooms. Right now, they have about 940 seminary students, but you heard in the video, they're expecting 1,900. So they're going to essentially double the size of their seminary with that space. And so they're on the tail end of finishing those classrooms in the seminary, but they're not done yet. And we believe with this gift, this one-time gift of $10,000, that they would be able to completely finish all of those classrooms and then welcome in those new students, again, which they're offering this seminary to them for free. And so here's what I want to ask you to do. I want to ask you to pray, and I want to ask you to give. You can go to gospelcc.com, click Give, and under that, there'll be a specific tab which says Rescue Mission. So go to gospelcc.com, click Give, and then click Rescue Mission. And we want to raise that money and send a one-time gift of $10,000 so they can finish their seminary classrooms and see all of those new students come in and receive biblical training and theology for free. So that's the second directive.
Yeah, and like Kirk said, these people feel like family to us, and so the connections that we made, we're keeping up with them. Like, we're committed to do that, and so we want to give regular updates, and we want to have corporate prayer for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what we want to do is regularly what we've been doing is usually once a month, we're giving highlights or updates on the church plants that we support. We're going to keep doing that with a focus on Colombia and what specifically they're doing in the church and in the seminary, because they're getting ready to plant more churches. You saw I was standing there with Pastor Danilo. I preached at his church. He's a church plant out of Rescue Mission. They're adding pastors. They're getting ready to plant more churches. And so we just want to continue to update you on how those church plants are going. We want to continue to update you on how many seminary students they're bringing in. Do you remember how many? So that's 1,900 in person. Do you remember how many are online?
Over 6,000.
Over 6,000 online.
Yeah.
And so you can see, like, we're being very strategic in selecting this because of their exponential growth. So we're giving just a little bit to them, but they're making it expand and expand into hundreds of seminary students and multiple church plants. We're just funding this massive tidal wave revival which God is doing in Colombia, and so it's such a blessing to be a part of it. So.
Yeah, one more. I think we can pray about beginning a return trip in 2027.
Yeah. So here's what we need. We need people right now to begin to pray about going with us on a trip next year. We're going to need specific people that can come and help. Maybe if you are a Spanish speaker, that would be very helpful to us to help us translate. But we'll probably be doing things like VBS for the kids. We'll probably be doing more teaching and training with the pastors, more teaching and training in the seminary. And so we're going to need for God to raise up a team of people within Gospel Community Church. We're going to need the funding to go on the trip, and then again, God's blessing and prayer as we get sent out. So we're going to start praying and planning now for our trip next year.